Oh, you can just hear the joy in her voice because she's out there exploring the world. Now hear the joy in mine at the impending Father's Day celebrations. And if you're struggling to come up with the perfect gift for your dad this Father's Day, well, you're in luck because Chef Clem is not only here to inspire your Father's Day menu, but to introduce the Everdure Cube, a versatile, stylish and compact charcoal grill that makes an ideal gift for the dad who loves outdoor cooking indoors because you can do this anywhere. This is a showstopper. This is something truly special because you can braai wherever you want, basically.
Absolutely.
There is something magical about the fire. Why is this so
It's
awesome,
just
dude?
a South African thing, eh? We will
Yes.
stand there in the smoke getting like tears running down our face, but as long as we're standing in that fire, near that fire, we're happy.
Headlamp on,
And
rain
we there.
pouring, it doesn't matter.
Does not matter, we will braai. And this is amazing because like you said, it's compact size and you can braai anywhere. Don't do this, but the truth is, I've got a big hatchback in the back of my car.
Oh,
we were
no.
out busy braaiing, it started drizzling, so I picked up the whole thing, just dropped it in my boot.
You got a big boot, though.
Yeah,
You
I got
do
a
have
big boot, and we're fine.
fine.
But the thing is, because the heat doesn't transfer to the outside like extremely as much as compared to like what the heat is inside.
And it's high heat.
Yeah, and it's high heat. You're safe. And the fact is, once the coals are going, you bring it inside and you do your thing. It's about the gears. And everybody, what we
Completely.
do now is we do like a little meat platter. So instead of putting the steaks down for everyone, everybody gets to put their own steak down.
It's like a little Korean barbecue, South Africanized.
South
I
Africanized.
like that.
It's really great. And again, the components in here also pretty small and lightweight. Why am I saying that? It's because sometimes the components are a little heavy and complicated to get out because you do want to clean it, like the regular maintenance. But it's so lightweight, so easy. What else can I tell you about it?
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful, and it's got the chopping board on top.
The chopping board. There we go. Let's talk about what it actually comes with. Okay, so along with it, which I won't put it on right now, is the lid that goes on top. And that lid, you can add little extra preppy bits inside.
Oh,
Yeah, so it comes with a little lid, yeah, which is
Look at
this is so amazing. And then the top, which is the lid, becomes your chopping board.
Brilliant.
This is, honestly, the most ideal outdoor cooking charcoal cooker you get. It's so amazing. Zoe Brown got one.
For
I got her to
sure.
get one, and she's just been loving it.
Flying to Oz with it,
Amazing.
yeah, as we speak. She's got in her hand luggage.
In her, she's
trying
actually
to
just walking
trying to
through
explain
customs.
it to customs right now, yeah.
So-
okay, the eye of the rib.
Of the rib, okay,
It's
so-
a perfect steak for this scenario because you've got very high heat to render the fat. And is this not the most beautiful slab of marbling?
It is
Look
amazing.
at it.
Obviously dry aged, and then I got wet aged again, so it's beautifully aged. We're gonna get this down on the grill. So another thing is, with winter being here, we found this to be the most amazing, like, tabletop heater. We still want to be outside. So after we've braaied, I actually just chuck some extra coals in there, and everybody just stays around the table.
You bring the braai inside.
It does kind of, but outside. It really does radiate that heat, so you can actually spend more time
wow.
outside, even though it's winter, right? It's full on winter. Outside, it really does radiate that
I
heat.
love that.
It's all about that gears. Okay, so ribeyes go down. Very important. Let's go through it. The ribeye came out. The ribeye came out the fridge this morning at about 6.
Okay.
Okay, and we just left it on the counter. We seasoned it with a bit of salt. We try to get the temperature to come up a bit, so it's not fridge temperature anymore. We try to get it to room
temperature, okay.
The salt
and that
goes
means
down.
that all the fibers have relaxed inside
yeah.
there. You want it as chilled as possible in its physical sense, not in its temperature sense.
There we go. So broccoli, what we've done is just blanched it slightly. Now, people like going with vegetables straight onto the grill. And of course, you can do
For
that.
sure.
But I find once you blanch it and then put it on the grill, you get a little more tenderness in the vegetables.
Okay.
And it locks in that green color. I mean, have you seen a green
I was
than
going to
this
say,
green?
that's popping like you sprayed it with green paint, okay, which we rarely have not.
We've only done that once.
I love that. So that's a great hack
no,
there for
really.
your veggies. If you're going to be charring something, but you don't want it to lose its vitality, the look, then you just blanch it quickly. And it also
Exactly.
helps because a tender stem, you want it to be tender.
You want it
That's
to be
what
tender.
you're pitching it as.
It's in
you
the
know?
name.
I get that, but it does lend itself. It's got a nice buttery flavor profile. So the char does work
It does.
beautifully
Yeah.
on a tender stem as opposed to a normal broccoli head, you know, flower of broccoli. So for sure.
The Tenderstem broccoli, again, the only reason I added a vegetable is because someone told me you can't just have steak and butter for dinner. Okay.
I thought it just fell into your bag by mistake and now
It
you had
did,
to cook
it
it.
did.
Okay.
But the Tenderstem broccoli for me picks up a very savory flavor. It almost becomes like a
nice
little
umami vibe. I
Umami?
feel you.
Umami. There we go.
Umamis.
So the Tenderstem broccoli is on there. Let's talk about the butter.
All
And
right.
you were wondering why have I got empty bones over here?
Yeah.
What I did was I put the bones on the Everdure, just let it go. Nice smoke started permeating, cooked those bones, took the marrow out the bones, put it in some softened butter.
So you've got almost a smoky bone marrow going in there.
Into the butter,
I
exactly.
like that.
We're going to go in with a little bit of salt, because it is salted butter already, but it's a steak. Steak loves salt.
For
and
sure.
You can, the difference between a steak that has been seasoned properly and not enough, it's worlds apart.
That was the restaurant quality kind of gift that you gave me, was the pre-salting, obviously, is such a massive thing. Once you can get that crust, but you've got to have it. You've got to draw that moisture out, and the salt just absolutely nails it. Do you, and I know people sit on the fence for this, and maybe it's horses for courses, but do you oil your steak before you salt it in the pre? How do you feel about that, or do you go salts? Because here you've got a lot of fat, natural fat anyway, yeah.
So what I do is I would season my steak before the time, no oil.
No oil.
And then what I do, if I really want to just get things sizzling and popping, I do spray with a light coating of oil. I'm not talking about like a glug. Just literally that's, okay? And that just helps kick off that caramelization and getting things seared.
Get the fats that are there kind of melting and going.
It kind of also lends for that other fat to start drawing out. And what happens is, again, why the fat is so important, that's the whole essence of the braai. So the fat, what's happening right now is every now and then you hear it's the fat dripping from the steak hitting the coals, creating that smoke, which then comes back up to the steak and flavors the steak.
And also our Tenderstem.
There we go. It's the circle of braai, okay? So that's what happens. That's how you get... There we go. So and another thing is, once the steak goes down, just leave it for a little bit, let it do its thing. So you're trying to form that crust. If you're going to be fiddling with it, you're not giving the steak a chance to form that crust.
Actually get that caramelization, okay.
What about the Ibidi as well is this compact size. So the heat is concentrated here, whereas if you're cooking with a much larger device and you've got your steaks down and nothing's happening here, that heat is just flying out the other end. So you're really able to control your heat really well.
Oh, wow,
We've got the golden brown. We haven't got the char yet that we're looking for. But to give you an idea, that's
looking damn near perfect, buddy. That is spectacular.
If you can, cook it 3/4 of the way on one side and 1/4 of the way on the other side. So try and get as much crust and flavor on the steak on that one side. You'll actually see the doneness come up that steak.
Yeah, it starts to cook its way through.
And then you'll turn it over for like a minute. Just get that initial like hard heat in there. But now butter, what you're going to do, let's actually just do it for the people. So I do like putting a little bit of butter on the steak while it's still on the braai. Again, just to get the garlic that's in here, the chili flakes, the marrow, a chance to kind of melt over that steak, drip down to the coals, and now you're going to get smoky garlic flavor.
I think when we love to use the word to the point of cliche of fusion, okay? But this is what that speaks to for me. It's a sense of continuity between every ingredient, every flavor profile, everything must sing together. You're not operating in different silos here. So if you've got a beautiful buttery sauce, not just to put on at the end to have that added at number 99, it must sing through the whole recipe. You're teaching me stuff, dude.
This is so beautiful. But also to hear you say it, it's so beautiful. I mean, it's a South African tradition. We take it very seriously. We invest in this. It's in this lifestyle of braai.
Yeah, for
and this
sure.
is a great way and an amazing addition to your arsenal of braai skills, braai equipment. It's really fun. It's the way that you can enjoy braais during the week, quick and easy. The charcoal lights so quickly and you're ready to cook in like no time at all. It is just a way to make the most of every day.
And it's quite manageable. I mean, we often have people running out of our studio because we've smoked the place out like a beekeeper, which is kind of like a mark of pride here. But it's actually done all right. And we've got fat dripping on this thing and it's manageable. So it really does stand up to almost every test. Do you do the knuckle test when you're testing your steak?
Not with the ribeye.
Really?
The ribeyes are very tender, so it's always going to feel tender even when it's well done. All right? So that's what you do. You take a sharp knife, put it in there, in the thickest part of the steak, leave it there for like 10 seconds, put it under your lip. If it's warm, you're good.
Then you're right.
If it's cold, it's rare. And if it's quite hot, you've cooked it.
If you see me walking around with a blister like this, you know my bride did not go well, bro. It was too long. I got sidetracked, distracted.
You know, I've got a better solution. Go to Woolies, go and get yourself a thermometer. There we go.
Oh, man, that's next level. That's next year's Father's Day. I'm just thinking how the machete that my family bought me earlier, I could use that to slice up the steak. When you want to rest the steak after you've cooked it, what's the rule of thumb?
So when it comes off the grill, what you're going to do is get it on a plate and a little bit of foil over the top just to tent it so it doesn't go too cold. And you're going to let it rest for, I let it rest for half the time it's cooked. If this steak cooks for 15 minutes, I'm going to rest it for about 7.
Okay.
Okay? It's really important to do that. The difference between resting and not resting is massive. Once you slice into that the steak that hasn't had a chance to rest, all those juices are going to come right out.
For sure.
And flavor. and flavor, not just moisture.
Because that's the fat that's rendered into that moisture is also going to just
all
be
those juices.
lost.
So letting it rest, and then what I like to do is, if it's going to come off the braai like this, the part that was facing the sky will be the part that goes plate down.
Okay.
We're going to give those juices a chance to run down and redistribute.
And it does draw that moisture
does.
back into
It
itself.
does.
I'm
Any
absolutely...
meat, chicken, lamb. What is this? Beef.
Beef.
Give me another animal. No, just joking, don't go there. But yes, rest your meat is very important, absolutely. And again, we've got the Everdeer, so what I do when I'm out in the wild, the steaks would go into the top. The steaks would
And
go
he
into
means
the top.
Kirstenbosch when he says the wild, eh?
Look, true story, true story. We were actually filming with Everdeer in one of the Tukai forest, and a baboon came and stole all our prep.
Oh,
Absolutely, true story, absolutely.
that's a badge of honor. Wear
So
it like pride, like a
there we
scout's
go.
badge, dude.
There we go, in the wild, and this guy's absolutely, ours is called Evelyn Everdeer. For sure, I'm telling you, these things are absolutely amazing. Don't leave home without it.
Absolutely beautiful. You might never have to leave home once you have it. Absolutely beautiful. And you can choose from a variety of amazing colors. It does look so stylish. And I think your dad will absolutely lose his mind for it. The Everdeer Cube has a porcelain enamel firebox, and we've seen how well it keeps that heat in, how safety it is. Safety latches that stays cool to the touch, allowing you to move it easily, even when it's going full steam like this. And here's the deal, okay? We're not going to introduce something so awesome without giving you the chance to win it. And you stand the chance of winning your very own Everdeer Cube this Father's Day to give to your father. Simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, X or Instagram page and tell us this. Why does your dad deserve this feisty portable braai? Oh, you better make this a good one. And don't forget the qualifying hashtag Everdeer and hashtag EI Online. EI Online. We need to see it there. That competition closes Sunday the 9th of June, so you don't have a huge amount of time. Up until midnight we'll give you, but you can find the T's and C's on expressoshow.com. That looks amazing. Dad's going to be happy.
Not only